Jesus has changed the world more than anyone else who ever lived. But today, people believe all kinds of myths about him. In these programs, we've got at the facts behind the myths. We've seen that Jesus was a real person. There's plenty of evidence for his life even outside the Bible. Of course, the place where we can find most evidence is the 4 accounts of his life in the Bible. We know what the people who wrote the Bible actually said. There are thousands of handwritten copies of their accounts, amounting to millions of pages of evidence. These copies go back very early in time, close to when the accounts were first written. The evidence of these handwritten documents is far better than it is for any other ancient document. The people who saw and heard Jesus were still alive and still telling their stories in public when the Bible's accounts were written down. The Bible's accounts are about real people and real places. They give us reliable history, not stories that were invented later. So we know a lot about Jesus. But so what? What difference does he make to us today? Jesus' followers believed that he was much more than a teacher or prophet, that he was the Son of God. This wasn't something they came to believe many years later. They believed it from a very early stage. This was partly because of the things Jesus said and did: healing people, forgiving their sins, and clearing out the temple. But the main reason was because he was raised from the dead. In these programs, we haven't looked at the evidence that Jesus was raised. There's an earlier series called Afterlife, which looks at this in detail. But if God really has come into our world in Jesus, what could be more important than to believe him and follow him? The challenge for us today is, how will we respond to the claims of Jesus? The most important thing you could do is to examine the evidence for yourself and make up your own mind about him. Why not make a start by reading through one of the Bible's accounts of his life for yourself?